Good morning. Thanks for joining us. You may have heard Time magazine came out with this list of the 100 most influential Americans. And of course, we wanted to have one of the local people on who made that list, but Tom Brady wasn't available. So we had to settle for our guest, Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Thank you for settling. I'm deeply grateful.
Welcome, Senator. Good to have you, even if you were a second choice. Senator Warren is here talking about her book, This Fight is Our Fight, the battle to save America's middle class. There it is on your screen. Congratulations, Senator. You wrote in the book about the dread you felt when you woke up the morning after Election Day. Yeah. Well, now it's nearly 100 days later. Has that dread been warranted? Has it been as bad as you thought?
Yeah, in some ways, actually, it's been worse than I thought. Because what has shifted is it's not about what Donald Trump says. It's not about what he tweets at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's about the things that he's actually been doing. So he first assembles this team of billionaires and bankers and tells them to deregulate the economy, to do all the things that just one punch after another to working families. Then he signs off on bills that are just, they don't even make it to headlines because there's so much other stuff going on. So he signed off on a bill to make it easier for federal contractors to steal people's wages. He's made it easier. He's made it easier for investment advisors to cheat retirees, easier for companies that kill or maim their employees to hide that information. It's just like one punch after another.
Well, there's two players in this scenario. What have you and your party been doing to stop it?
Well, that's the problem. Democrats just do not have the votes. He's been putting those things through. They are 51-vote margin.
Right.
That's how they can do it on these. And we don't have the votes to be able to stop it. I mean, look, I get up, I speak about this, I try to rally the troops around it, but it's just bang, bang, bang.
Speaking of rallying the troops, every House seat and a third of the Senate seats are up in the fall of 18.
Yep.
And in the meantime, the new chairman of the DNC, Tom Perez, is traveling around the country with Bernie Sanders. I know he's a friend of yours, but he's not even a Democrat, as he frequently proclaims. And they've been getting booed by the Democrats in the audience. Frankly, it looks like a party in disarray.
So, you know, the way I think of this is that parties, left, right, are a lot less important than they used to be. What I talk about in this book is I talk about how we built a middle class, how starting in the 1980s, Republican trickle-down economics took the legs out from underneath the middle class. I talk about the influence of money taking over Washington, so the government works for those at the top. But the last part of the book is the optimistic part. It's the part about how democracy works, how when we raise our voices, we actually have a chance to make a difference. And we have done it, John. You know, look, that Trump care, take away health care from 24 million Americans, drive up costs for people right in the middle. And why? So they could deliver a tax break for a handful of millionaires and billionaires. People across this country, Democrats and Republicans, people raised their voices and said no and stopped the worst assault on health care in the history of our country. So I talk a lot about how to get involved and how to be effective, because I really do believe this fight is our fight.
We got to take a break, but
sure.
Have you met the president yet?
No.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm doing okay right now.
You'll take a pass.
I'll take a pass.
All right, we'll continue our conversation with our guest, Senator Elizabeth Warren, in just a moment. So please stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking with Senator Elizabeth Warren. And Senator, there's a lot of questions surrounding the Massachusetts economy right now. Job growth in March was virtually non-existent, about 200 jobs created. The unemployment rate increased. The structural budget deficit continues to be a problem. And the federal cuts that the Trump administration's talking about, Medicaid and so forth, could blow a huge hole in our budget. What are you and the rest of our delegation doing to stop the bleeding here?
Oh, my gosh. You know, actually, it's even worse than that, John. The president's budget outline that he has proposed includes about an 18% cut to the National Institutes of Health. Massachusetts is one of the biggest places where this research takes place. We're talking about, over time, billions of dollars that comes into the Massachusetts economy. I'm going to do everything I can to try to stop it.
Well, what's the game plan? Give us an insight
So
into
look,
how this
the
works.
game plan is a little like the game plan was on health care. And that is, you've got to narrow it down to a few key issues and then get out there and talk about them and get a lot of people around not just the Commonwealth, but all around the country. This is a place where it helps to have people from all over the country saying that's a bad idea. So the one I'm focused on, there's a lot of terrible stuff in that budget, but the one I have really focused on is cuts to medical research, how that would hurt all of us around the country. But boy, would it be hard on Massachusetts and hard on the economy in Massachusetts. So I'm trying to build a coalition for you cannot cut health care research in the United States.
Do you have an ally on that particular issue within the administration?
So what I have are some allies within Congress.
Right.
There are a lot of folks who say over and over and over, yes, we need more money for research on diabetes. We need more money for research on Alzheimer's. I encourage them. I support them. I show up for their events to try to say, yes, this is very important. But we can't do it if Donald Trump rams through an 18% cut in the National Institute of Health budget. So I'm trying to build that alliance.
We've got to wrap it up.
Sure.
But if you had to summarize in your best elevator pitch what it is you hope readers of this book will take away from it and translate into action, what would it be?
It would be that the decisions that are made in Washington touch our lives every single day. And that right now, Washington's working for those at the top, but not for the rest of America. The only way we're going to change that is if we make our voices heard. And that requires us to connect up with each other, to do a lot of outreach, and to do a lot of speaking up.
Thank you, Senator.
It's good to see you.
Good luck. The title of the book is This Fight is Our Fight, The Battle to Save America's Middle Class. Published by Metropolitan Books, the author, Senator Elizabeth Warren. That's it for us. Now it's back over to my colleagues for more WBZ News.